Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. If you're not a member or you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. By the way, you only can make comments or questions during the live stream. So like I said, during the live stream, let me do that again. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building, flying, contest coverage at John's Garage shows that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. Share the videos, comments, all these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. 17 cents a day. And just join right below the blue button. And when you're a member, you'll get access to member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a Q&A for just members only. Now, you also can show your support, show your love by doing the super chats. And you can go there anytime during the live stream, but it's not available during a replay. So like I said, every Monday and Friday, come in. And if it's inconvenient for you to watch the whole show at that time, just come in and make the super chat, join, give us a like, and then come back and watch the show at a more convenient time for you. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. It's not mine. Okay, I'm here just twice a week. And so if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is Flying Control Line Stunt. I'm going to repeat that for you. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. And just search that in YouTube search bar and you should come to my channel. And if you would, please go to the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot of me flying my first official flight with his airplane. It was his Junar XL, which if you've been watching and keeping up with Sparky, he's actually refinishing that plane. And it's kind of neat to see the plane. You can see that close and personal. Beautiful plane, in my opinion. And it flies extraordinary. It's very light for a wing that's over 700 square inches. It's only 58.5 ounces when I flew it. And hopefully when he does this refinish, it's not going to be that much heavier. And I want to have you please make a comment or question there on that video, because that's my YouTube channel. So when you do that, I'll be notified and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. Okay. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't ordinarily do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link now at Stunthangar Forum. Let me go there and post that. So that's being posted now. So that is the way to get into the show. If you're not a member of Stunthangar Forum, please register. And if you're having problems, you can reach out to me. You know, like I said, you can go to the my YouTube channel and we can get together. I've been able to help other people successfully come in and make it a habit. So, but there are some people who do have a problem doing it. So I understand that. And usually this is a small little wrinkle we got to fix. So right now I'm heading to what I call the control panel and Sparky's YouTube channel. And so I can see what's going on, keep track of the chats, and see how the signal is and how the stream is going. There's a little slight delay between what I'm doing here and what I see on the live YouTube. So just bear with me for another moment. I hope everybody is had a good work week or good vacation week or every day being retired kind of a week. Looks like the stream is streaming and we have 10 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're already up to 7 likes. So the 3 of you that have not hit the like button, please do that. And that will help the analytics of the show. And I see Tom Rammel's in. Thank you, Tom, for coming in. I'll be right with you. And I see Tom Rammel had text in the chat, like provided. Thank you very much. And Dennis H just joined today. Thank you very much, Dennis. Awesome. Did you join the YouTube channel or did you join the forum? Let me see here. I really can't see. Normally when a person is a new member, there's a special emoji that I see on their name, but I don't see that on yours, Dennis H. Anyways, let me thank you for coming in early, Tom. I appreciate that. That helps me from having to do a dog and pony show, I guess what they call. So how you been?
I found something on Facebook Marketplace this week.
Looky here, a cosmic wind. All right. Yeah, I guess that really works. That marketplace. Very good for you. That's great. I saw one at the.
This is how far I got in one day.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Wow, the bell crank's installed and everything. Wow. Yeah, there was a gentleman there, Mike Meadows. He had a cosmic wind there, and a not smoothie, but the other Goodyear racer. What was that? The shoestring. He had a shoestring and a cosmic wind there, and it was another plane. I can't remember the third one.
Buster.
Yes.
Yeah, these profile kits go together so quick. This is just one day's worth of work. So
that's amazing. Hey, John, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so am I. And Gary Sinclair, thank you for coming in, Gary. I'm glad to be here too.
Yeah.
And Dennis H, he says, join the YouTube. Thank you. Been a forum member for for about 10 years. Well, thank you, Dennis. Why don't you come in sometime? Come on in. The water's warm and we don't bite. There's no sharks in here.
Well, what plane did you have, Tom?
This is a Cosmic Wind, a Brodak kit. I picked up on Facebook. The only disadvantage is it's an older kit, so it's the die crushed kit instead of the laser cut.
Is there any crushing in the die work? Because John was really adamant that
yeah, they're.
Go ahead.
It was pretty good.
Oops, what happened to you there?
You're locked up.
It kind of crushed some of the
Banjo playing.
Yeah.
quarter-inch thick part on the fuselage, but
Well, he and I had a discussion about that once, and he said he wanted this is before laser cutting really became the norm. He said he wanted to have me lay out the parts for the die cut for the die maker. And I said, isn't that expensive? He says, it's not that bad. He says, people in the hobby, they'll try to get 50,000 kits out of a set of die. And he says, by then you are crushing it. But he says, they're not that expensive to make a kit run of 300, 400, 500 and then send them in to be reworked. And he was very adamant about he didn't want die crushed, he wanted die cut.
yeah, the wing ribs were really good. The six, they're just 16th inch thick wing ribs.
Die cutting quarter-inch, you're starting to get to the limit.
Yeah.
For clean cutting.
Right.
Yeah. But that was originally a Goldberg kit, I believe.
The Cosmic Wind this is a half A Cosmic Wind.
Oh, I don't know whether Goldberg.
I thought it looked smaller.
I don't know whether Goldberg made those or not, or if John had them reduced.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Go ahead.
There were several Goldberg kits that were half A.
Yeah, I had the Little Wizard.
Yep, that's what I had too, the Little Wizard.
Yeah.
Same here. And I had the jumping bean also.
But I don't know if he had a half A version of the triad, the three racers. How you doing, Ed?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, Eddie. Appreciate it.
Well, it's definitely still building weather here in Minnesota. We had 32 degrees today and 40-mile-an-hour wind gusting to 50 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well,
and the lake is still frozen. So
that keeps the rioting down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
it's still building weather.
Well, good. So you still got time to finish that project you've been wanting to do since you were 16 years old, right?
It's not that I really wanted it. It's just I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and found it and just went and picked it up. And I thought it would be, I was kind of thinking it might be good for the kids, the grandkids to learn to fly, but maybe not on this one. I don't know. It looks like it might be a little delicate for grandkids. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What you want for the grandkids for training is a foam wing profile fuselage, or something like a gotcha wing with a set up for control line training. They got a name for
that Yavenko wing that Mike gave me. So we're going to try that as soon as the weather gets better.
Yeah, that should work.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, Mike, did you get the front end of your truck fixed yet?
No,
No?
I've got the approval from the insurance company. They checked on parts. They can get everything except there is not one bumper in the entire United States for a Titan XD pickup truck.
Well, you get one from a Datsun, put it on.
She said it could be the end of the week. She said it could be a month. It could be 2 months. So I don't know, but I don't want them to start the repairs because I only get a rental for 30 days.
Right.
If it runs into Brodak or the Nats, like I'm okay not having a car. We've got another SUV and I've got a motorcycle. But if we get into contest season and I don't have my truck, I'll need the rental, and I'm gonna have a minivan is what I'm gonna ask for in case it happens. In case they don't get to it till June or July.
Yeah.
I'll do that rental and I'll get a minivan, so at least that won't impact Sam and us going to those contests. So,
Good idea.
Yeah, good idea.
so.
Hey, Eddie, what you been up to?
Not much. Just working. I do have a question for anybody who wants to answer it. On that JB special, John.
Yeah.
I've got 2 sheets of 1/4 inch, which the plans, you got 1/4 inch for the nose cones and 1/4 inch for the wheel pants.
Yeah.
I've got 2 good sheets. I got a 4.5 pound and a 5 pound wood. And I don't know which one I want to use for the nose and which one I want to use for the wheel pants. I don't know if I need to go with the heavier wood on the nose. I know it's only 1/2 pound, but it's still every little bit, helps. So I'm gonna have to wait, I guess, until I see how the build's coming along before I dedicate.
Yeah, you may need to wait. You may need the wait. You may not. It's hard to say.
Yeah. And also I want to make 2 sets of landing gear, one for asphalt, one for grass. So one with grass is not going to have the wheel pants on it.
Good choice.
And do I need to make it longer and with more rake, or just put more rake to it?
Well, if you use it, let's start with that question first. If you use the same landing gear dimensions, because the one that's shown on the plans is for asphalt or concrete, yes, for hard surface.
Right. Hard surface, yeah.
If you don't make that straight part before you get down to where you make the bend for the axle, if you don't make that a little bit longer, when you rake it forward, it's going to shorten the distance, that the plane is sitting, and you might have prop strikes. So you want to make it a little longer, I'd say even up to 1 inch longer, and then rake it forward about, let's see, it should be about 16 degrees to the setup. So if you rake it forward to 4 to 5 degrees further forward, and then put on the next size larger wheels for grass.
Yeah, everything I've got's pretty much got 2.5 inch wheels on it.
Yeah, okay, because that's drawn up with 2 inch wheels for the hard surface.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good plan. So I'd make that grass gear about 1 inch longer in that straight section, but you're going to lose some of that when you rake it forward.
Right.
Not a
So
whole
if
lot.
I make it longer, it's still, but by raking it forward, I'm still going to have about the same height.
No, you'll be if you make it 1 inch longer, you'll be a little bit higher, but you need that in the grass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've got one that I have to hand launch because it's one that I got from Mike. I don't know what it is. If Mike's listening, it was that yellow one, and the prop hits the grass on it, so I had to hand launch it. But
yeah. Now the first question on the 1/4 inch, I like to treat 4.5 ounce as gold, and so it depends. I'm trying to remember. I believe there's room to take and carve out around the nose to make it 1/8 inch thick all the way wherever that is, so you can take some weight off. And I think if you do that, you could go the heavier wood on the nose. Also, if you got enough, I'd try to use the heavier wood on at least the center section of the built up for the wheel pants.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, hey, this sucks. I was just fixing to ask you something and it just,
I know I have it happen all the time. I think
Why you
Dennis is shaking his head. Yep.
While you're thinking about that, let me just say, hey, Dennis, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you made it safely back to your home from BSC.
Ah, look at that.
Now, what are you drinking there?
No, that's his fuel jug
Mm-hmm.
for him.
I can't tell. Oh, look at that. I love that engraving there of the airplane. Oh, that's from
Mhm.
BSC. Oh, wow. Look at that. Is
All
that an
right.
award? Is that a trophy?
That is. You'll have to see what trophy it's for. I'll have to drink a little bit more out of it. Apparently you can't, it's hard to read, but there's stuff in it.
Well, I need to make you big and try it again. And let me see
Mhm.
again so everybody can see it.
Oh, you can barely see it, but you can't
Yeah,
make
once-
it
there's
out.
something
Once you
there,
get down
yeah.
below that, we'll be able to see for sure. That's good. Well, congratulations.
Congrats, Denny.
That's great. I had a great time, John. And thanks. Thank you, Charles. Yeah, I got a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th, but managed. That was the only trophy I was able to get. So I was tickled to death with that.
Yeah, it's stiff competition at VSC. There's some good flyers that come out there.
Well, who won the Pachyderm Award?
Would it be appropriate to say I forgot?
It would.
No, it was, I think it was Chris Brainerd,
Good old Chris.
but I don't know what he did. I think he just left out a maneuver or something like that.
You know, one year, I'll tell the story on Bobby Hunt, but one year he was there. I happened to be there, and he left out a maneuver in the pattern. So on his next flight, the guys there all got poster board, and they had them all set up, you know, so as he flew by, they'd hold it up, said reverse wing over, 3 loops, inverted flight.
Oh,
They did that through the whole flight. It was a crack up.
oh, that's
Mhm.
funny. Yep.
Well, I tried to protect myself. Before I left, I made sure I wore my shoes with the memory foam inserts.
Oh,
Very good.
yeah, good idea.
Well,
Did it help?
I still managed to do 4 loops instead of 5 in my last old time flight. And projecting the score cost me 2nd place. So,
Oh boy.
oh boy,
Yeah.
Yes.
bad enough to blame the judges, but when I got nobody to blame but me, oh, that hurts.
That is very frustrating, especially when you come down flying and you have a smile and you're
Mhm.
happy of your flight, and then you learn, no, you forgot something or you left something out, and you're like, oh man, I thought that was a good flight.
Well, I knew something was wrong because when I do the old time pattern, I actually do my entry into the inverted plate into my outside loop. And that means when I do the final rectangle loop at the end of the flight, it unwinds my lines. So I have no twist in the line. Well, I finished my flight. I looked, there was a twist in the line.
Ah.
Shucks.
You know,
I'll save my real reaction for the after party, but it was
Yeah,
an
right.
shucks moment. All right.
well, Denny, I at a contest once did 4 loops, insides, and that was because I was not paying real attention, and I forgot how many I'd done.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd only done 2, so I did another one, which was the 4th one. And so, yeah, I understand the feeling.
Absolutely.
That's just crazy.
Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Jack Snavely says, hello all again. It's nice to hear you again. Hear you all again. Excuse me. And then there's some airplane emojis and all that. And Frog Martin, he says, Dennis Adamison still have the Oryx?
So I have the what?
Oryx, you know, the old engines, the
Oh, yeah, the Orwix, yeah.
and then he says Guy M. I'm not sure what that means.
That's Guy Markham.
Guy Markham. Oh, okay. So his
I
handle
think-
is Frog Martin, but his name is Guy.
Markham, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you, Frog Martin, for coming in. Appreciate that. So do you still have the Oryx, Dennis?
Yeah, my brother, still sorting through my brother's stuff. He had an Orwick 64, I guess it is, the big block engine. That was a original production engine. Got a serial number that indicates it was like one of the last years they made them, and it's an ignition engine with the points and everything. And he also had a replica Orwick 29 ignition engine. And it came in a wood box and a foam rubber inserts in it. And that is a replica. It does have a serial number also. I have no idea what to trace, and I can't even tell from looking at the box. I can't even tell who it was made by, but there were some people mentioned in the Stunthangar threads on Orwix and stuff. I need to go study that a little more. There are apparently a couple of different people making replicas. So, but yes, Guy M, the answer is I still got them both. And looking to start peddling them here as soon as we can. I'll probably put a listing on Stunthangar first and see what happens. No, there's no bites. I might try eBay or something like that, but we'll see.
I got a question for you, Denny. Is any of your nephews or anybody going to pick up on the 3D printing of the motor mounts?
Not yet, they haven't. They're still trying to sort through Dave's. Dave had his all his files, his computers and all his files password protected the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
We're trying be very careful about walking through all of that, because if you could trip it and not lock up the files and stuff like that. So my nephew, Dave's son, has been going through that very carefully. Now, I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks, so I don't really know where he stands. But I do know that my nephew Archie was talking about trying to pick it up and try to pick up where he left off. And then Archie also started, Mike might be interested in this. He has started printing 3D printing props for indoor models. And he had those props just this last week. They've been approved for by the Flying Aces committee. And they'll be able to use those in the Flying Aces events that call for plastic props.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it
Very
is.
cool.
It is. It's he's able to make 2, 3, 4 blades so far. He has a 5-blade design, but he doesn't have anything to put it on, so he hasn't made it yet. So, but it's kind of funny seeing a little indoor model and stuff with a great big 5-bladed prop on it. He's made some real pretty 3-bladers for get this, a peanut scale, that's 13-inch wingspan, a Grumman Goose twin engine, float plane or amphibian. And he did, the guy modeled the later version that had the turbo engine because it's got a longer nacelle and he can sneak a little more rubber motor into it.
Right.
And, but Archie printed him a couple of really, really wide blade, 3-blade props for that'll slow the motors way down so he can get a decent motor run out of those short motors.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
That's using your head,
Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity. The doggone 3D printing is, it's like laser cutting, that there's almost zero, tooling or anything like that. It's just a question of doing a good design layout and feeding it to the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me say hi to Tryan since he's close to the camera. Hey, Tryan, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey, Tryon, how you doing?
I'm here.
That good, huh?
I have a question for Eddie.
Hey, Philip.
Hey,
Does
how are you?
your Cricut cutter cut 1/4-inch balsa?
No.
No,
That's too thick.
3/32 is large. It'll do.
Okay.
It'll cut 3/32 balsa, 3/32 leather. 3/32 is as high as the bar.
Deep as the blade will go.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, but right here, that bar right there, I don't know if you can see it, if I can get the camera
Yeah.
around.
So, let me make you
Bar right
big.
there. Yeah, that bar right there, I tried putting the 1/8 inch on it and it hits the bar and will not go underneath it. So 3/32 is as thick as it will cut.
Okay.
Plus, now it will cut plywood, basswood, balsa wood, but it can't be no more than 3/32.
Okay.
I wish it would cut 1/4 inch. That'd be awesome. Of course, it'd have to have a lot bigger blade in it than what's in it, but
It's just a small item, that blade.
right.
You know.
If it could cut 1/4 inch balsa, you could cut the whole airplane out of it. Well, not really, because it'll only cut the 24-inch pads.
Don't they make a 3-foot pad?
It won't on mine because they won't even acknowledge it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do 12 by 12 and 12 by 24 is only. Now it does have like where you can put smaller 6-inch by 12-inch, but in there I'm thinking, why? I mean, just run your 12 by 12 and put your material on there. I don't know why they have the smaller ones, but yeah, 12 by 24 is all the program will take.
Okay. I read somewhere when I was reading up on the
Now,
specs.
one of them will
Bigger one will.
longer, but this one won't. And there's one of them, forgot what it is. It does not have a knife blade with it. It will only cut like the vinyl and stuff like that with it. But it'll cut like 24 inches wide by I don't know how long, but it's a whole lot wider, but it wouldn't cut wood. The Maker and the Maker 3 and I forgot the other one are the only 3 that will cut wood.
Can't think of it either, Eddie.
And I think you have to subscribe to the program, right? You have to pay a subscription fee.
You have a the generic one, but if you want to go premium, you have to pay for it. And all it does is give you more
Basically fonts,
yeah, fonts and
some design.
shapes and designs and stuff like that. If you're going to go through, excuse me, if you're going to go through with all the design work that they do, crafts and stuff like that. I opened mine up here. If it takes its sweet time on this old computer, but
It takes its sweet time on my new computer.
but with the patterns that I do, I really don't need the premium, although I've got it just in case I need it for anything. But that's about it. Now, when you're cutting the hardwood like basswood and plywood, The 3/32 balsa wood takes like 7 cuts, 7 passes.
Wow.
So I cut out all the bulkhead pieces for that JB Special, and there's 30 of them, 30 individual pieces that you put together to make the bulkheads, and it took 3 hours to do that. But
I would it take you to do it by hand, and it wouldn't be as accurate.
right, yeah, and this is, I mean, I may have to take a emery file for, the emery fingernail files
Yeah,
and shape it just a little bit. But
you want to think about, because I've been thinking about it. I really should have set it up, pulled the skin or the part that is the same height as the skin when it's sitting in there. Put a little concave in each one of those so it doesn't get glued on at each bulkhead station. You know what I mean? When you're painting
So
it.
the tissue doesn't.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the software for the Pro is an annual subscription?
I think it's monthly. Well, I think it's either monthly or you can do it one time.
Annually.
Yeah,
Annual subscription. Yeah.
yeah. But it's basically just there's two setups. One is your standard, which comes with it, and then the premium. But like I say, the premium, all it does is give you a few more fonts and
A few fancy designs. That's about it.
yeah, a few shapes and see
I didn't
here,
buy the premium. I didn't think it was worth it. You can find a font and put the font in it without having to.
Yeah.
It'll learn. You can put it in, scan it through the computer, and it will learn, and you don't have to pay the extra fee to get that font. So though it's a little bit more trouble if you're cheap like me, just put the darn thing in there yourself and go with it. It's very handy. It's a handy tool. And I like Eddie, I'm still learning what it'll do. It does a lot more than I thought.
you can, I mean, I've been on YouTube several times to figure out, because like if you want to do a set of ribs, okay, if you can put 3 4-inch pieces of balsa on your sticky pad, and when you set it up, you download the file or the image, and then you have to upload it to the design space. And then you set everything where you want it. And then you have to what they call weld everything. And all you do is click and drag the box over everything, and it makes that image now one image. Because if you just set everything up where you want to on your design space and then say make it, it's going to go to the part of the program where you're actually seeing what's going on your pad. And depending on how your margins are, you can't get everything squished right up against each other. It wants to pull it apart. So you have to, I didn't know that until I started putting everything in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's not letting me do this. So then I found out you have to weld it and all that. Once you figure it out, it's simple. But YouTube is your friend on this because the instructions don't really explain everything. It's got the how to get started, and that's it.
You do a lot of learn by doing.
Oh yeah. That's why I cut up a lot of paper before I started putting wood in there.
Eddie, when it starts cutting, you said it made 7 passes for a given sheet of wood, right? Does it do all 7 passes on one part and then go to the next part, or does it kind of jump around on the whole thing?
No, yeah, it may do all the circles and then go back and do the outline and then go back and do the circles and then go back and do the outline.
Okay, so it
And
just
that's-
goes through the whole thing then seven
Right.
times.
Right. It
Okay.
does just cut one rib out 7 times, then go to the next one, do it 7 times. It'll make one pass on everything that you have laid out and then start all over.
Now that's with 16th or 332nd.
332nd. 332nd, it does 7 passes. And
Does it rotate the blade when it's cutting?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. yeah, it's got it's got a little wheel right here, a little cog. See if you can
There you
see that
go.
wheel. Okay. This, I just about cut myself too. This plastic piece locks it in place to keep it from the base from spinning. But if you spin, let's see if you can see
Yes.
see the blade spinning.
Right.
Okay, well, it'll sit there and just work itself back and forth. The blade doesn't, I mean, it's just the X and Y axis is all it does. And then this, if it's real tight, it may just punch it, pump, 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 like that. Instead of, and then if it's a long cut, it'll make the long sweeping.
And it tries to align the blade with the direction of the cut, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Super.
this is
It
the
doesn't
final.
really, does it rotate the blade or does the blade just caster and follow along?
No, it rotates it.
No, it rotates. Now this
Hmm.
blade right here, the fine tooth blade, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of,
1 second. 1 second.
it's kind of fine. See if I can get back here where,
There we
okay,
go.
see it poking
see
up
it?
there?
Yeah.
Okay, now this one is on a caster. It doesn't have the gear on it.
Okay.
So it just kind of goes around, but this is for cutting the vinyl or paper or whatever, because you can just barely see it. See if I can get down here on my, where I can,
Mhm.
you can just barely, I mean, it's just barely poking out. So it tells you what, if you're going to cut, like this cardboard here, that's my pattern from my handle.
Uh-huh.
So, it'll tell you if you need to use the blade, the fine blade, the rotary blade. The rotary blade is more for like material, cloth, fabric. But if you're going to cut anything hard, like, I mean, it'll cut plastics, it'll cut leather, the wood, chipboard. I'm still ain't figured out what chipboard is. It's like, I think it's like cardboard or something like that, but it'll tell you what blade to put in, and then when you when it loads in, I mean, I can set it up here in a few. It just, when I get it set up, I'll do a demonstration if you want me to show you what it does. But it'll take me a couple of minutes to get it set
No
up.
problem. I got to catch up on the chat box, and let me say hi to hey Howard Rush. Thanks for coming in. And I see you remembered to flip your phone over. That's great. And
Yeah.
Lynn, thanks for coming in, Lynn. And Daryl Hawkins, thanks for coming in. And Carl Reed, it's been a long time since I've seen you, Carl. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
welcome.
saw Carl about 2-3 hours ago. And,
Huh?
and on the chat box, I have Frog Martin again. He says, K&M replicas. Your dad traded me for some of the OS 40 stunt engines at the swap meet years ago in Washington. Guy Markham. And then Keith Bozell, he asks a question. He's saying, do you need the muffler on or off the motor when you break it in? When you're breaking in an
Off.
engine 19?
Off.
Off if you can.
Oh, I guess you got your answer, Keith Bozell. You need to find a place where you can run your Indian 19 without the muffler on there. And hey, Daryl, what you been up to, Daryl?
Well, the weather has not been cooperating to get out and actually try to fly. The twister's complete, and then
All right.
well, then with still a couple weeks of downtime, I went ahead and stripped the covering off the old combat plane that I hastily repaired last year to keep on flying. So I undid the ugly repairs and got it looking pretty good again. So just waiting for the winds to die down so I can get out and I'll fly the combat plane first, just to kind of shake out the cobwebs being a novice before I go to get the twister up in the air.
You have an expert near you, Daryl?
Maybe if I went to Kansas City or to St. Louis, I'm halfway in between the two of them.
Okay, you definitely want to have someone help you with the bench trimming of your twister before you fly it.
Yeah.
And Wendy Onowski has some good bench trimming videos on either the PL Taylor channel or the Walt Burnell channel. But he has a good systematic system of going through what's called a bench trim.
Okay, because I did check the center of gravity and it's pretty darn close to what's shown on the plans.
That's good.
That's good. And so you have adjustable lead outs, right?
No, I don't have the adjustable lead outs, but I put the weight box in on the outboard wing.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys remember as far as bench trimming? Anything else?
Did you put the lead outs where they show it on the plans?
Yes.
Okay, you should be pretty good then. Best next thing you need to do is check that you got the same amount of up as down, and the same on both the flaps and the elevators. And you want to make sure that when the elevator is neutral, that the flap is neutral. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of eyeballed it, and
Yeah,
I think I'm probably within the 64th of an inch.
that's pretty close. So you should be, I mean, it should be pretty good. You want to make sure you have no warps, or if you have a warp that you can warp it out, or if you can't warp it out, you can put some kind of a wart on it to maybe fly with it anyway. But the first choice is
the wing appears to be pretty straight, so
good. Well, the first choice is to not have any warts on it.
yeah.
All right. But if you've done all that and you got a good tank set up on it, I like the Uniflow, the plastic RC tank style of Uniflow. If you've got a good tank on it, a good running engine, and the gear is set up like it's shown on the plan, you shouldn't have too many problems with it.
Yeah, I've got an LA40 and then got the needle valve and Venturi from Jim Lee. So
yeah,
I was actually able to stop by Jim's shop and down into his
he's a
basement.
nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a real nice
He
guy.
had quite a collection of engines piled up in a like an old-fashioned mail desk.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
You want to have somebody there with you who can sight your wing on the first flights.
Yeah,
See,
I belong to a radio control club, and
okay.
some of the guys flew control line in the past. I'm kind
Yeah.
of known as the control line guy there.
All right. That's all right.
Although I do have a radio control plane, I just
Yeah.
find myself gravitating towards the control line.
I'm the same way. Yeah. The only thing I'm saying that for is what's one of the first things you want to do when you're trimming is get your wings level, upright and inverted.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you want to get the run the same, upright and inverted.
Yeah.
And after that, there's all kinds of little things. But if you've done your bench trim with any kind of, what's the right word for that? Any kind of expertise, you should be pretty close. You know, you're locked in on your lead outs. You can't change that, but you can change your wingtip weight, and that'll be part of trimming to get the wings the same. So yeah, you're in pretty good shape.
What about your prop distance between your if you get the plane level as a prop, your clearance from the ground? Make sure you have adequate prop clearance.
Yeah, I've got I got a 10.6 on there right now.
Okay. All right.
But I do have a variety of props available. I went out and stopped and got a variety, like an 11.4 and.
So have you've got an LA 40 on it?
Yes.
Okay, you might want to start off with like a 10 or 11.4. Because the engine's going to want to run faster. It's just, at 10.6, you'll be turning around like a banshee. So it'll be like flying the combat plane on a stunt circle.
Okay, well, is better prop size advisable, or?
Well, I would consider a 10 or 11.4, depending on what your ground clearance is.
I've got good clearance.
But I'd probably start with 11.4, because you can always cut that down. But you can't stretch if you need more on a 10.4.
Well, that's why I got a variety of props.
What brand of props did you get?
They're just the APCs.
Oh, okay, those are good.
They're sharp though.
They're very sharp. Yeah, I take a piece of sandpaper, sand the leading and trailing edges. You don't want to leave that sharp flashing on it. It'll cut the daylights out of you. You know that.
Yeah. And I don't have a tachometer, but has anyone had luck with some of the like audio tachometer apps? Or
I think Dennis Adametian was using an audio app. No?
Nope.
Who was it? Somebody here was using. Was that you,
Hey,
Mike?
I'm the guy with the 75% hearing loss, and audio tech is not in my that's not in my strike zone. All right. So
all right. Who was it that was using it? Somebody here.
Using what?
Who?
Brett Buck was talking about it on a thread about. I actually posted about what people are using for tax. Where can I get one? What's a good one?
Oh, yeah.
And then a lot of people chimed in, and then it devolved into or transformed into them talking about audio tax on phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's where it was. A lot of people chimed in. I think Brett chimed in and a couple other people. And they said they're pretty accurate, I guess.
That's what he said.
Well, it's probably better than nothing.
Absolutely better than nothing.
Yeah.
And a whole lot more convenient to obtain than trying to chase down a tachometer.
You can hardly find them anymore,
Oh, I just thought of something as far as bench trim. Make sure that your wheels are not making the plane, violently.
I've rolled it across the floor already. So
and it rolls straight, or does it kind of curve into the curve? Kind of how does it roll?
It goes probably about 5 degrees outside of the circle.
That's okay, because you want to keep your lines tight on takeoff. So, you may wind up playing with that down the road, but to start with,
But it's not, at least on takeoff, it will not be coming in towards me.
Right.
It shouldn't.
Just prepared to be step back anyways. You always want to be ready to be step back when you launch a plane the first time, so you see what the plane does. The other question I have is the tank. What kind of tank is it? Is it a metal tank or is it a plastic?
It's a metal tank I got from Brodex.
Okay, so you want to put that pickup at 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above the glow plug.
Not the glow plug.
As far as the height, as far as look at your pickup. And
okay, I follow. Because it's side mounted, right? Right.
Yeah. So
a quarter's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It all depends. I mean, I've had some that were 1/4. It all depends.
Yeah.
That's why I said 1/8 of an inch to 1/4. You don't necessarily have to go to 1/4, but and it's not that important until you start flying inverted. And I don't know if you're flying upside down or not. Are you flying inverted or not?
Oh, not yet.
Yeah, so it's
I
not.
figure I'll probably test my metal on the old combat plane I've got.
Yeah.
Well, the best way to learn to fly inverted is lazy eights extending the,
Yeah.
and because you know what you're going to do before you get there. You're going to give it down to bring it back over, and that helps you keep the airplane a little better. But you'll be able to tell as soon as you go inverted and you're going on that downslope, because if the height is wrong, the engine will either speed up or slow down when you go inverted.
Yeah, I had so it was too windy, so I went ahead and test ran the engines to try to get the needle valve set, and
Yeah,
things ran pretty consistent at any angle I was holding the plane.
that's good. That's good. That's a good.
Got a little increase in RPM when went from level to vertical.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And don't forget to balance your props too. Make sure they're balanced. But APC is pretty good. Because they're extruded, they're usually, very
Pretty
little.
consistent.
Yeah,
Except
but
the hole's off center.
Yeah, make sure the hole isn't offset center. They did have some that that got past their QC, and the hole was definitely off center. And that's a big vibration. So
let me catch up on the chat box, gentlemen.
Thank you all for your feedback. And
Oh yeah, we want you to have a
advice and all that.
successful, outing. We want to put your plane in what's called a safe mode. Let me catch up on the chat box.
Okay.
So Brent Williams came in. He said, converting an old, let me start over. Converting a old, well-worn Pathfinder to electric tonight. Good to you, Brent. And thanks for coming in, Brent. And then Dennis Adamson delivered a like. Thank you very much, Dennis. And let me quiet your background noise, Paul. Yeah, mute you real quick. There we go. And then Brent Williams goes on to say, I guess this is regarding his Pathfinder. It's going to have a Cobra 2820, APC 11.5 5E, and then a Thunder Power 4S 2800 milliamp hour, and a FM9 Cuban timer.
what? Whose old Pathfinder is that? Is that his or somebody else's or what?
We'll see what he says. And then he goes on to say that a 10.6 is not a good prop for LA 40. APC 10. APC 10.5 by 4.5 works really great on LA 40. And Lynn, I can't hear you, Lynn, but I see you're in agreement. It's weird. You're not muted, but couldn't hear you. And Paul Taylor, thanks for coming in, Paul. Appreciate it.
I think now. Well, no, I thought nothing else turned pink, but it's pink. Okay.
I didn't know we were gonna put it with white.
And let's see here. Hey, Howard, I know I'm being nosy, but what are you doing? It's kind of interesting. What are you doing?
I'm cutting out parts from a paint mask that I shouldn't have had in there.
Oh, in there being what? The lace
namely, this mask goes up against another mask, and I covered up yellow squares in both masks, so I would have overlapped them had I not did what I just did and removed the superfluous yellow squares.
No. Yeah.
That means extra, right?
I something like that. Yeah. Let's see. I can. I'll show you the mask.
All right. Let me make you big again.
My big.
Ooh, impact.
Impact. Yeah, same old thing. Yeah, these zigzag lines match some other another mask.
Oh, is this going to make the Waverly checkerboard?
Make your picture bigger.
That's for Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna look like that.
Oh, that
that's
is cool.
looking.
Very nice.
Well, I hope it looks like that.
Well, we won't have to get that confused with the orange one.
Well, I hope not.
Very nice. Hey, Naomi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for coming in, Naomi. You going to give us a little progress report on the plane?
Well, I haven't made any progress since the last meeting, but Mike hasn't seen it yet, so I thought I'd show it to Mike. Hey, Mike?
Very good. Wow.
What do you think?
Looks great. You even got his AMA number on there.
Of course.
Yeah.
I just got to get it painted, but the weather's been rainy up here, so I haven't been able to do any doping. I've only
Okay.
gotten a couple of clear coats so far.
All right. Well, Sam should be strolling in any time. He went to his first dance tonight.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Seventh.
Girl?
Well, no, not with a girl, but there was girls there. He didn't have a date, but it's the first official 7th grade dance. So I don't know. He wanted to go. He went. So, but if he should be back anytime. If he pops in,
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be excited to see the airplane. So, and then I got to get a dance report from him.
Maybe a demonstration.
Well, I need to know that he's as smooth as his old man was back in the day.
Yeah.
Mike, you might want to make him wait till the after party then. So
Yeah. Well, Naomi, the airplane looks great, Naomi. I'm sure Sam
Oh,
will be
thank
very,
you.
very excited to see it.
I can't wait to get some color on it, but if the weather will cooperate, I still got to do one more clear coat, a couple filler coats, and
Well,
then a
we're-
final clear coat, and then I can actually start putting the color on it.
We're in the same boat here, not rain-wise, but wind-wise. We've had warm temperatures, but it's been blowing 15. We went and flew blowing a hoolie. We went and flew kites yesterday because we couldn't fly airplanes, and our RC club is having a big profile fly-in tomorrow. RC profile airplanes. That's actually a thing. They have something called the Profile Brotherhood. So they're
Oh, yeah.
profile RC planes, right? And our RC club is having a big deal tomorrow. And, of course, Control Line is welcome there. So we were going to get a bunch of stuff ready and go fly. And it's only going to be 56, but it's going to be blowing like 17. So we can't fly.
Yeah.
I mean, the RC guys won't even show up if it's blowing 17. I guess we can go and fly some combat stuff and stay downwind, but I don't want to go on a day like that,
Yeah, no.
I'd rather go fly kites. We really
Yeah,
got
really.
the power
We-
kites,
We have a kite rigged up with a control line handle, so you can fly it just like a control line model.
Oh, so do I. Did you get one of Bob Mears' combat kites?
No?
No, we have
We
just
just
we
rigged
just have
up
a
one.
regular 2-line kite. We turned it into a control line kite.
That's pretty neat.
I guarantee you. All right, it's kites, but it counts because it flies on a hot rock.
Yeah,
That ever cool.
that's very cool.
This is very, very small kite. It's only 42-foot lines. And actually, combat guy, Arlene makes these. Bob Mears' wife, Arlene Mears,
Okay.
she's the president of MACA, her and Bob. They're big F2D guys. You know the Mears, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard the name for sure.
Sure. And I know Howard does. But anyway, Arlene makes these things. These are actually called combat kites, and they're made to fly on a hot rock on 42-foot lines. And you need at least 15 miles an hour of wind to fly them. They're better in 20. And they fly so fast. They're ridiculously fast. And the nice thing about it is, if you got it set up right, and this is probably backwards to you guys, when you're flying it on the hot rock and you're going, counterclockwise like we fly, up makes the kite turn up, and down makes the kite turn inside, and down makes the kite turn outside.
Outside, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how ours is set up too.
Yeah, you can practice your eights, your inside outside loops. You can do your square eights, your outside squares, your inside squares. You can do your triangles, and you can do your vertical eights.
Your vertical eights too, yeah.
With a kite. These are great for control line practice. So,
Wow.
You can also practice not getting in line tangles. Get two guys out there and practice.
well, yeah, we only have one of these currently, but I bought two Synops 140s. They're foil kites, which I don't know. They're maybe 3.5 feet across, but it's a parachute kite, dual line. And we got 50-foot streamers on those, and we go fly those together. We've really been getting into the kites lately because it's been, like I said, it's been warm, but it's been windy. We have like warm weather to fly, but it's so windy, we don't want to bother dragging out airplane
So you're
stuff.
just gonna be busting airplanes up, yeah.
Right.
Like
So
when you first said 15, I'm thinking kilometers. 15 kilometers is still flyable, but when you're talking 15 miles an hour, that's a
yeah, I'm talking MPHs. Yeah.
I gotta get a hold of Mears and see if I can get one of those. They look awesome.
Yeah, Arlene makes them every couple of years, and she delivers them to the Nats at the combat circle. I think they were.
If somebody on there has their information, I'd like it. That'd be good.
Something like that. I think they were about $60, but they're worth every penny. And
You bet, for sure.
I should have bought 3 of them. You know.
Yeah, I'd love to get a couple of those. I think they're hilarious.
What? How cool is that? A kite on a hot rock handle.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't
so
get any
cool.
better than that.
Doesn't
I have a question from Paul Taylor. Go ahead, Paul. You got to unmute your mic, though, Paul.
Yeah, I was just going to say where could we get them if there was a link or something?
No link. I mean, I can ask Bob and Arlene if she's planning on making another run of them because Arlene builds these. She builds them. Carbon fiber. She sews all the material. They're made out of what's called zero porosity fabric, which is the same stuff we use in skydiving parachutes. It's 0P fabric. And she sews, I mean, she builds these. It's not like she's importing them from China or anything. These are custom made, handmade by her. And she took orders 2 years ago before the Nats and brought all the kites. And I don't think she was super happy because there was a lot of people that didn't show up or didn't pay and didn't get their kites, didn't want them when they got there. And
That's a shame.
We're hoping to go to the Nats this year,
right,
so it would be great if we could pick up a couple from her while we're there.
I'll drop her a line. And tell her there's some interest. And
that's awesome. Thanks, Mike.
I don't know what the lead time is to make them or whatever, but
whatever it is, if she can get us a couple, that'd be awesome.
Because like you say, if it's too windy to fly the control line, we like flying the kites too, because it's just as, if you've got it set up like that, it's just as much fun as flying a control line model.
It is. I think it translates very well because you're on a hot rock handle and insides and outsides.
Especially something like that goes fast. It's like, this is just awesome. Yeah.
I think it's good training. Absolutely. Good training.
Okay.
Very cool.
Thanks for showing those.
Well, I even like flying the slow combat wing that I used to, I still sometimes fly one just for practice.
Speed limit.
And it really helps you with your reflexes, because when you get used to flying faster like that, and then you go back to a slower stunt model, you feel like you have so much time to think about what you're doing compared to flying a combat wing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where you basically just have to, you don't have time to think about it. You just have to do it.
I think that's why Sam's instincts and reactions are so good.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Just flying as much combat as we fly.
Yeah.
And, he prefers it now to stunt. He really does. And
well, once I get better at like doing loops and stuff like that. I think I might give combat another try, because the first time I flew slow combat at Brodax,
Speed limit.
I still couldn't even do a loop or really even much of a wing over, but you know, the guys kind of let me fly anyway, and they gave me the sportsmanship award just for, you know.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think there's that many women that fly combat.
Well, Naomi, I'll tell you what, I'll bring a couple of beaters with us to Brodax and.
I got a bunch of combat wings.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
got a bunch of them. Like, we'll throw a couple in.
Yeah, we can do that.
In the van.
Well, I know you said room was real estate was a real issue
combat
for you.
wings don't take up a lot of room. It's
They're
not
flat.
like it's not like a stunt model where it's like 3-dimensional. Like they're basically only a couple inches.
Yeah,
long, you know?
I would love to go out and fly a match with you. I know Sam would too. Sam
Oh
would.
yeah, we'd have.
We'll throw a couple in.
Great amount of fun. Yeah, even if it, yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I could enter the combat event again. I haven't so far, but that's not to say I couldn't enter it while I'm down there.
Well, what are you doing Thursday morning? Are you flying any other event?
I don't know. I would have to check, but maybe not.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because right now, so far, all I've signed up for is like the stunt events, all beginner level, like profile, precision aerobatics, nostalgia.
That's it.
I think on Thursday.
And
Thursday is Ringmaster and Firecat Day, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to fly either. I'm not flying.
So, and combat. Thursday is Ringmaster, Firecat, and combat.
Well, we could do that then. We could do combat.
It's the only other thing I'm doing is the clown racing.
And then half A is after in the afternoon.
I don't think I'm even gonna, I'm not even gonna do scale this year. I might do half A scale if I can get one of my half A scale models actually flying half decent, but I'm not gonna do the big scale event. I never score very well, and sometimes they score me well on my appearance, but sometimes they don't, and it's just, you know, they don't score me well on my flying because they don't seem to like the way I fly.
Those damn judges, those pesky judges, man. Those pesky judges.
That's our world, Naomi. We had that same problem.
Well, wait until I can do loops and stuff with my scale plane. Then I might get some marks.
There you go.
You know, I was just
scary now.
looking at you, Naomi, and I'm just thinking, I appreciate you coming in so much. And, you know, we talk about our hobby not growing. We could double our hobby in size. We get our wives or girlfriends to fly.
Yeah, well, if you can figure out how to do it, I've been trying to get other women involved in the hobby, and it's really hard. Like they just don't have the interest in it.
Charles, I can't have my wife and my girlfriend at the same contest with me.
That could be a problem.
You gotta have one of them judging.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Let me say thank you, Mark Lumen, for coming in, and thank you for the like. I appreciate that. And I gotta catch up on the chat box. I'm waiting for John to get back. But well, I'll just, hey John, you're back. Great. The answer to that Pathfinder is George Swanson's old olive drab, oil soaked beater Pathfinder old.
Yeah, I know the plane.
And then, of course, Mark Lumen, he said like, submitted, and being in the short. So we're all caught up on the chat. We have 19 likes, and we've had as many as, I think, 26 viewers or so. So we're 27 viewers. So we're kind of lagging behind with the likes. If you haven't hit the like button, doesn't cost you a thing. Please at least do the likes and consider subscribing to the channel and consider the joining the YouTube channel. That helps. And I know we have a new member in Dennis H. He joined. So
hey Dennis,
how to do it.
I have a question for you guys. I actually been trying to find a 3-bladed nylon or
How do I
plastic
get to
spinner.
YouTube?
Anyways, if anybody has one, I'd be willing to buy it and pay for shipping. I'm looking for a 2 3/4 inch nylon spinner.
2 3/4 inch?
Yeah, I know it's kind of oddball. They're
I thought
out
you
there.
said 1 3/4 inch.
I thought I typed in 2 3/4.
It's messing up.
Mine says 1 3/4. I'll look.
I'm sorry.
I'll look again.
Yeah, but yeah, anybody out there, if you're listening to us on YouTube, if you have a
Maybe it's on here. If
2
not, you're gonna
3/4
have
inch
to-
plastic spinner, I prefer it to be white, but beggars can't be choosy. And I might have to end up getting a carbon fiber one. An aluminum one is going to be too heavy. I really need a plastic or nylon. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I want a light one, so I'm thinking of plastic or nylon. But so anyways, just keep that in mind if you would.
Charles, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, let me make you big.
What the hell?
All right. I'm gonna try to get this turned around here where I can. I just
Okay,
found
that's-
it. There we go.
Oh, okay.
All right, I just got some scrap wood. This is 16 just for
Stunthangar
demonstration,
YouTube.
but the boards are set up in 1 inch increments, and then on this end, it's in centimeters.
Okay.
Metric on one end, standard on the other. Okay, so I'm gonna. This is the bulkheads. What I do is I use the snippet tool. And what it does is it's gonna turn the screen gray when it's size, okay. No. Whatever you have up on the screen, I'm just gonna do this 5A right here.
All right.
Burn dark. Okay. And you highlight it. It's still slow because it's just now loading up. Okay, so there it is. All right, so now I save it to the computer. I'm just going to use that, what it comes up, because I'm going to delete it here after I get through. So now it's saved to the computer. I go out of everything, bring up my Cricut. Being slow. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. All right, so it says upload image right here. So you upload it, then you browse. You got to go to the computer. Come on, focus. There we go. Screenshot. And it'll come up right there. And it has simple, moderate, and complex. Being that this is just a two-dimensional drawing, you do simple. Okay, now I don't know if you notice it highlighted it all gray.
Yeah.
We hit continue. And there it is.
All
now,
right.
I'm going to manually select everything that I don't want. So it's going checkerboard.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That answered
okay. So now I want to get rid of these lines because if I don't, it's going to try to cut them. So I'll go to erase, and you can go, great big circle, which is going to take care of everything, but I like taking it down small and just start erasing everything that I don't want.
All right.
And then up there, across the top, I hit the top of it. So I'm going to restore, boom, go back to select. Now I got to make my erase. I got to go smaller because I didn't leave myself enough room at the top. Okay, now apply and continue. It's going to bring up the silhouette of what you just made. Now, I don't know if you can notice, there's a little dot right there.
Yeah.
That's one of the lines that I missed. So I got to go back and erase it. And it's right there. Boom. There's another one right there. Okay, then you go back. All right, there it is.
There it is.
Now I'm going to say, click on that whole design right there. Got the image. Upload it. Now it's uploaded to my images. I select that image, add it to my canvas, and there it is. Now it's got a whatever size I copied it as is what it come up. Right here, you set your sizes. You can unlock it to do individual width and height. If it's locked, if I increase the width, the height is automatically going to increase to keep the aspect ratio the same.
Right.
But what I did before I even got started on everything is I went and measured every bulkhead on there. So this is 5A, so my width is, we'll just make it 2.5. 2.5, I'm sorry, I gotta have a camera up here. 2.5, enter, and it changed the width. I'm gonna leave the height the same just for demonstration. So now that I have that there, I go to make it up here in the corner. And this is my 12 by 12 canvas. It automatically defaults to that. And you can see the design there.
Yeah.
All right. Now, on my paper here, or my backboard, I've got it set between 4 and 6 inches. But I'm going to have to rotate it. So I'll just rotate it around and move it to there. So there it is. I'm going to say continue. And you have to remember to set your pattern to wherever you have your wood on here. If not, you're just going to be cutting nothing into your, you're cutting your board up. Okay. And then it's got favorites, which is balsa wood 16th, balsa wood 3/32, and poster board. Poster board is what I use to cut a lot of my patterns and practice with because it's like cheap. So I click on the balsa wood and it'll give you the warning, move your star wheels, which are your star wheels right here. Because if they're over here on this, it's going to crease it. And it'll say, load the knife blade. Knife blade is loaded. And you got your little arrows blinking. Make sure you're up against your rollers. Hit your button. And it didn't take it. I didn't have it all the way up in there. Ah, dadgummit. It's hard to do this one-handed because I like to push it. There it goes. Okay, so now it's telling me everything's good. Go with it. it's gonna go over and orient the blade. And then up here, it's finalizing the image that it wants to cut. See how it's plunging the cuts? That's where it's doing the castle cuts. But see, this is cutting one of 4 passes, 1 minute remaining. So what it's going to do is it's going to do 1 pass, and then it'll evaluate how fast it's going to cut the image. You can already see the image on it. Now it's gone back up and did the 1 pass, and it's saying 3 minutes remaining. So y'all can go do what you want to do. I'll mute my mic. In 3 minutes, I'll show the end product.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Hey, Tim, Jess, thanks for coming in.
Hey, nice to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
I was so confused. I was looking in the background there off your left shoulder. I saw this red thing, looked like it had 2 tails on it.
Oh, it's a chair.
And it's a chair. Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been cleaning up and doing some moving around, and they kicked me out of the dining room, so I'm in the living room now. But I got some stuff in here in boxes and junk. Some of it I'm going to keep, and some of it I'm going to get rid of. But I just pooped out and didn't have time to finish everything before tonight.
I understand that.
I got a bird behind me I had to cover up, or he sees TV, he goes crazy.
Oh, he likes it, huh?
Oh Lord, yeah. Anything that moves, he's going to try to chase it. But he's been very quiet tonight, which is unusual for Indy. He's usually raising sand by now.
All right, it's done.
All right, let's see what he's got.
Well, it said it was done, but it's on the last leg of the cut. All right, it's through cutting, and it'll say looks good. Continue to cut. So I know it's going to be good, so I'm going to remove it. And
voila.
Like I said, it's hard to do one-handed. See if I can.
Wow.
That is cool.
And if I can get this up without it breaking. I usually use yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
All right, Eddie, you're going to ruin
like
me.
that one right there is not cut. It's not cut exactly square, so you just take a emery file,
right,
and take a piece of 1/32 or nope. I lost my. Come here. Take a piece of 1/32 and gauge it, or 3/32 and gauge it. Or no, these are 1/8 inch.
Yeah.
1/8 inch strips, runners, stringers, whatever you want to call them, stringers, and then just sand it down until they fit in there nice and snug. And that's it.
In between them, when you build it, between them, you want to make a little sink it down a little bit so that I'm gonna make that change on the plans, but
Very
that's
nice.
it. And then it took to do all 30 pieces, which is, let me turn back around here.
the reason there's so many pieces is they interlock and help
Right,
strengthen.
it's a puzzle.
Yeah,
But now it says you're calibrate. No, and then down here it says you're done. Now, no, I'm gonna get rid of that, replace it. Okay, so now I got a blank slate. If I go up here to where it says my projects, you look right there. That's all the bulkheads. And I can say, I'm gonna say customize it just so I can get it bigger on this screen. I put them all on there. And then set it all up. And that's what I got. And it took 3 hours to cut all that to look like.
You know, if you wanted to, you could make different cuts, different sizes, and therefore have a tapered side to a part.
yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Do what now? I didn't catch what you're saying.
If you wanted to have a part with a tapered side, like you're making bulkheads for a tapered fuselage, you could have different passes by the knife at different sizes.
Yeah.
So you have little steps as it goes down.
Right. Yeah. You could. You just have to. The thing is, like, you have to have something, whether it's a drawing, the blueprints, something. Of course, I've got it. I've got the files on my flash drive, plus I've got the printed. And what you have to do is measure the parts you're wanting to cut. So when you download it on your canvas, do like I did, got everything measured, and set your height and width. And when it, that way it's, because it's not going to set it up. Like, even though I took it off of the files on here, off my flash drive, it's a PDF file. If I can't take it and get it printed, it's going to print 100%. But when I copy it on here, it's not 100%. I had to change everything. I mean, but it don't take that long to do it, just a couple of minutes. But if you don't have anything to measure by, then you're just guessing at it.
If you made it from a 3D CAD file, then you could have the different passes be different places on one axis.
Yeah.
So, but when you go cutting stuff with a laser cutter, first thing you want is, golly, it would be nice if you could rotate the laser to have another axis to cut with.
Yeah.
This way you can do that. You could have little steps in the thing and have tapered parts.
Yeah. As long as you measure it.
It'd be kind of hard it'd be a bother to do without coming from 3D CAD. It'd be easy 3D CAD.
Yeah. Because this will if you upload an image, it says upload an image to use in designs. Compatible files is the JPGs, the GIFs, GIFs, or whatever they are, PNG, bitmap, SVG, and DXF. That's what's compatible with the software on here. Now, if you're going to do a pattern fill, which I have not done, That's with more or less the craft stuff. It's only a JPG, GIF, PNG, and bitmap. It won't take the others. But like I say, for cutting out stuff like that right there, I'm thinking it's spot on. Because I wouldn't be able to get this knife in there and cut all that stuff out as precise as this thing does.
No,
Looks good.
I just heard that my day's flying for tomorrow is shot. 40-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow.
Hey, that's what it is here.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided to be real brilliant and been trying to get my humongous painted. And before I paint the wings yellow, I have to paint them white. So I was trying to put the white paint on, and the pollen took care of the yellow for me for the most part. That's pitiful, I'm telling you.
So you got a textured paint job, huh?
Yeah, and I got to sand all that crap off. That's just.
You could say you're trying to lessen your carbon print, and it's more organic. It's more organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can enter it in the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you.
I got a tool share. If we were talking about tools last week.
Oh yeah, please do. Let me make you big, Mark.
Now I'm sure there's you guys may have.
Well, I know what that is.
Yeah,
I center finder for a motor.
It is, yeah, exactly that.
Yes.
Instead of cutting it from like a template or something like that, which I've had issues with templates before, and let's say a lot of motors may not have the exact same, same hole pattern. Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
It's very handy, and it's a little drill bit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really
Oh, is that ever cool?
That marks it, and it's small enough, that you can get around your exhaust port,
Nice.
And just set the engine in there. I taped the last one in there, just held it steady and just twisted around, and you've got.
Where'd you get that?
And that cone kind of centers the.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
I actually found it in almost falling off the back shelf at a hobby shop out in Kansas City, and I believe it's Great Lakes.
Great Plains, I think.
Great Plains. You're exactly right, Charles. Yeah.
I found one of those in a hobby shop down in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Missouri thing or Kansas City. Close.
That is a great find.
Yeah, I have one of those. I like it. It's a good tool.
Yeah, it really makes a difference, well, for me, because like I say, that whole stress factor when you're mounting that engine, to get it exact.
Marking the engine is so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed that today. Why didn't you send it over?
It might not be something that wouldn't be too bad to make, actually, if you just get some long drill bits and some brass and But
as fast as he builds, he don't need any more help. That's ridiculous, man. I'm sitting there thinking he's going to be 3 months building this airplane, and 3 weeks later he showed it to us ready for paint.
Lynn's a machine in the shop.
I don't know about that. You know why though? I have an excuse though. I'm almost completely retired. Not completely, but almost. I only work like 2 days a week.
Yeah,
so all the other days I'm in the shop, so it works.
Well, I don't know what my excuse is supposed to be, Lynn. I am retired, and I still can't keep up with you.
Hey,
we went flying today though, and it was so darn windy. I decided that I'd had enough. My 51 Pathfinder about pulled my arm off, and I told Tom I'd had enough. And unfortunately, he wanted to make one more flight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, didn't make it.
Oh my goodness.
That wind was coming up nasty, and his Phantom is no more. So that was a sick way to end the day.
Sometimes you got to know when to hang it up for the day.
Yeah,
it's a hard call sometimes.
Now, Phil, did he say I'm going to do one more flight, or did he say I'm going to do another flight?
I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna go one more time. He wanted to try
that's
one.
the death sentence.
He wanted to try one more thing, and I said,
You don't say that. You just say I'm going to do another flight.
Yeah.
I'm going to do one more. That's it. You're going to do one more.
We got 5 up, but that 6th one got him.
That's equivalent to saying hold my beer.
Yeah. It was one of those days when not only will it take your hat off your head and blow it 100 yards downrange, but Tommy swears the wind changed 180 degrees on me 3 times in overhead 8s.
Wow.
All I knew was I was getting blown this way and I was getting blown this way. What in the heck is going on? He said it was changing direction that much. He said, I'm watching the flag over here. The flag was behind me. I couldn't see it. But he said that flag's blowing this way, then it's blowing this way, then it's blowing this way, and it changed back. I said, that's 4 times.
That's treacherous.
All over.
It was nasty. It was nasty.
Yeah, I know I come on late and don't know if you guys had mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you guys knew Bob Reeves.
Yeah.
I knew Bob Reeves a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately,
From Brodax.
Yeah,
I heard.
Yeah, he passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I
Me
think
too.
it maybe in the last day or so. Yeah, I met him last year at the Tulsa place, and he had that's kind of been his life down there. He lived on the site, so anyway.
Yeah, I was lucky enough a few years ago, I'd met a fellow out in Arizona, Tucson, Ted Snow. And we liked his airplane. Tommy and I both were out there and we both liked his airplane. So the next year, Tommy had drawn it up and asked me, take this out and see if Ted will go along with this see if it's his airplane, because it's not exactly like the one that I forgot the fellow out there. I think World the guy, but I can't think of his name. He designed the Pentastar.
Lou Walgas.
Lou Walgas.
Yeah, Lou Walgas. It's not exactly like Lou Walgas, but if you really look at it, the only real difference is the shape of the rudder. And I showed it to Ted, and he called himself the Desert Rat, not Fox, Rat. Anyway, I showed it to him. He said, where do I sign? He said, hell, this looks more like my plane. Okay, I'm getting told I'm getting too loud. Anyway, he said, this looks more like my plane than the plans do.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So he signed it for us, and Tommy did the plans, and I got the plane downstairs now. It's if I ever finish painting it. My problem is not that I hate painting; it's that I'm too stupid to do a simple paint scheme. I have to do these elaborate paint schemes, and they drag on and on and on. And just one of these days, I'm going to learn to do like Tommy's. Tommy used to do very elaborate paint schemes. Now he does these little simple things, and he details them, and they look so good. And why I can't learn that trick, I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to do that.
One of these days. Hey, Eddie's trying to show us an image of the that Great Plains tool.
Yeah,
Amazon.
All right.
Amazon, $15.
Dead center. Okay.
Called the Dead Center by Great Plains.
It is well worth it. If you guys will take that and put a spinner, put the spinner you're going to use on the airplane, and use a prop if you have to, and then take a 1/64 or one, depending on how big a gap you like. Go ahead and put the stuff together and put it in the airplane and just mash it back. Put a piece of extra wood in there as a spacer and mash it back, and then take that and mark your holes. You can't miss. I mean, it's just not possible to miss if you use the spacer and use the thing as a spacer, the propeller and all as a spacer, and put it in there. You can't miss. It just works. That's one of the handiest little tools in my shop. I like that thing.
It really helps the confidence when you're putting that motor in, because
it does. You know it. You know it's right. You don't have to guess it.
You can mark
close enough. No, you're dead center if you do that.
You can mark your thrust line. You can get everything lined up, and just tape it, glue it, whatever in place, and then
boom, boom.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, it's $9.92 plus $4.49 delivered.
almost half again as much as it costs, but yeah, it's worth it.
$15.
Yeah, I think I need to have me one of those.
Yeah,
it's a good tool. I definitely
everybody needs one of those,
and I like it. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks, Eddie.
I'll have to mark this, put that in my wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Mark, thanks for showing that tool.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
That's awesome.
Like I said, now when I go in hobby shops, you go in with the intention of something and you walk out with not even close to what you went in there for. Yeah.
Yeah. I always go in with the intention of spending $50 and 250 later, I'm out the door.
Exactly.
With a little wee bag.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Just like the grocery stores these days.
Yeah, same deal.
Yeah,
the
Walmart.
hobbies-
I
the
got the
hobbies
worst
are-
one. I got the worst one. Walmart.
Yeah.
Can anybody get out of that place for less than $50?
I know. You got to. Anyways,
Oh,
my
wait a
hobby
minute.
store, they have a sign by the register, and it said, "Your wife calls. She said you can get anything you want."
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah.
Wasn't my wife.
I just love that sign. Usually, when my wife calls, I'm trying to get out of the hobby store because she's gonna ask me where are you at, and I don't want to admit that I'm in the hobby store.
When mine calls, she always knows.
I get in the parking lot, and I'm like, I'm on my way to Walmart because Walmart's right across the street.
There you go. So it's not a lie. Yeah.
No, and I'm on my way after I finish my shopping in the hobby store. I'm going to Walmart. So
I am so glad to hear that I'm not the only one with this
to
affliction.
get some large Ziploc bags or something. Wasn't like she was checking on me, but I didn't want to get inside the hobby store.
I go in the
My
hobby
wife was
store.
questioning me when I was building Twister. How much money have you spent on this? Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is it depends. Yeah.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Well, it was
how
my
much I
first
spent.
build in 40 years. So in the process of building, I needed to acquire stuff.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
That was gonna be my next comment. What it actually costs to build the airplane is one figure.
Well, but I can
The things
amortize
you buy-
the stuff over future planes.
Exactly. The other thing
But
is you
each
buy,
plane will require something else.
That's right. Well, I got to have these 6 rolls of Monaco, and I really got to get yeah.
Not to mention you need a drill press.
Exactly.
I think Bob Hunt said it best. The only real hobby is spending money.
Well, that's true.
Okay, guys. I just went on Amazon there and bought one of those tools.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
They got
there's only one left.
They've got one left.
Oh, Lynn, you better get on it, Lynn.
They had 2 on there. I was like, damn, I'm gonna get it right now for it. But yeah, on Amazon there's one left. Now, you might be able to find them other places, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's another tool very similar to that, and it cuts grooves. It's very similar. It looks just to that, and it cuts these beautiful grooves and slots.
Called an X-Acto knife.
They have one. They have one that's similar to that, and I think it's probably what you're talking about, Charles. It's made for cutting like where your control horn goes in the back of the elevator. You can do the same thing though with just sharpen a piece of brass tubing, and then go ahead and make the cut down in the elevators out this way. Make the cut over here where it's going to end anyway, and just leave your X-Acto knife sitting there, and then take this and just slide it in from the end. And when you hit the knife, you're done. You pull it out and close the slot.
Right.
Then you go right there and put your hole in, and your elevator fits in. It just hides right in there. Just everything fits.
Damn, I never knew that one either. That's a nice one. Good idea.
Just
you see all these great ideas for just 17 cents a day.
Yeah,
it's a day.
I can build, but I'm doing everything the hard way. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you been building for 50 plus years, 55 plus
Yeah,
years?
well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's a problem.
Well, I guarantee you I've made every mistake you've made and then a few.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too. It's just crazy. I started building when I was 11.
I started at
61,
9,
so yeah.
I started at 9 and I'm 66, so I believe I got you.
Yeah, you got me by a few. You got me by
Yeah,
5
little
or
bit.
6. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got me by 5 or 6.
I tell you what, it's a never ending and you're always learning something, but you know, the definition of the definition of when you stop learning is you start dying. So
That's right.
I'm happy to keep on learning.
Exactly. You got to have an open mind and don't think you know it all. You got to keep your mind open. And, you know, one thing which I enjoy about building and this hobby is one day you do something and you're like so amazed. Wow, it came out so good. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like I used to have a really anxiety about drilling the holes to mount a motor because you have to get the center right, but the hole has to be perpendicular. It can't be willy wampus any direction. It has to be straight down. And if you get one of the 4 not perpendicular, you're toast.
Yeah, you screwed the whole deal.
Yeah, you screwed the pooch. And and so, but one day you do that and it's like, wow, that, you know, the bolts go straight in, they easy to screw in. You're like, wow, that's the first time it's ever happened. And after a period of time, things happen. You go, wow, that was amazing. You just start patting yourself on the back, you know, it's like, wow, that was pretty good.
And then the next time you go to do it, you forgot how you did it.
Yeah.
Then you start all over again, making mistakes.
So you pick it up in amazement. You pick it up in amazement and drop it on the table or hit it on the corner.
Oh, God, yes.
But my point is that the craftsmanship, it just sneaks up on you. It's just amazing. The craftsmanship appears after a period of time.
Well, it's alien magic.
The one that'll blow your mind is when you finally build an airplane and you don't, you know, in building a plane, at some point you always have one of those moments where, oh shucks, I should have done that a different way. But you get through a plane and you've got it ready to fly and you didn't have an oh shucks moment. That'll blow your mind. Then you take it to the field and you're going to do a short tank, because I wasn't flying electric when I did this. I short tanked it to fly it the first time and just took off, going to do a couple of climbs and dives, and you think, holy crying in. So you land the plane and you put a full tank in it, go out and fly a pattern on the first full tank. And the thing is, you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what it needs. It don't need anything.
Wow.
Doesn't happen very often.
You get one that flies off the board and it just 2,000 flights later, it's still a great airplane. That's wild.
What is it?
My Stinger. It's nothing but a fancerized twister is what everybody would call it today. It's a Fancer and I built them about the same time. And Bob Hunt saw mine before the fancerized twister came out. So I have that much proof that mine does go along with Fancers. It's two guys thinking the same thing about the same model. But anyway, it's instead of being angles, like Ted's is all angles, I like circles. I like angles. I don't like angles. I like rounds and stuff. And it's just a very curvy twister. It's got elliptical flaps. I love Al Raby's Sea Fury and one of his articles. It's just, I'll bring it up one day. One of these days I'll get down there to it. It's covered in about 3 inches of dust in the basement, I'm sure. But anyway, I'll bring it up. It's nothing but a twister. But there'll be an electric one later this summer because I bought Howard and I each bought an electric fancerized twister, and I can't stand the angles. I just looked at it and I said, oh no, I can't do it. So I'm going to build an electric Stinger. I just can't do it. The one plane that I'm building, I'm going to build that has angles, I'm going to do a you name it. And but thanks Bob for Bob Galley, first guy to get me to do an inside loop and an outside loop. And Bob's having some health problems, and I'm going to try to get this thing done for him to see pictures of it this summer. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I hate that he's having trouble. Anyway, what's everybody been? Has anybody else been flying this week?
Yeah, Carl and myself and Joe Mata. If you're listening, Joe, yeah, we went flying today, and I flew Monday. Put in 7 flights Monday.
Wow!
I did like 5 flights today, and Carl, I think Carl must have done at least 3 flights, right, Carl? And then Joe did 1 flight, 1 or 2. So yeah, it was. We was actually complaining about how hot it was. Even though it wasn't too. I know it's kind of crazy, right? But we're
It was
complaining
hot,
how
you had
much
like
they made.
southern.
We got cool wind and spitting rain, and he's got heat and he's complaining.
Yeah, and the wind was comfortable, about 5 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Came up right before we
funny.
left. It came up to probably about 8 or 9 miles an hour.
Oh, you're
we're
breaking my
heartbroken
heart.
for you.
You're breaking my heart. What was the temperature? It was so hot.
What do you think it was, Carl? You think it was around 90 degrees?
Yeah, it's only between 80 and 90. And then about right when we were packing up and leaving, the humidity came in. So
Good grief.
Yeah, I know.
Good
But
grief. What were you flying?
I was flying my Strega, and Carl was flying a combat wing with a Brodak 25. This is and then
When are you gonna get back on that? When are you gonna get back on the SP11?
Yeah, I know. I need to. It's just excuses, and more excuses.
He's like me, loves glow.
Well,
no, it's
I
just
love both.
It's just time management, and I still am working. I still have a wife and 3 teenagers, and I got cars I got to fix. And I got things I got to do, and it's just I'm just I haven't gotten. I've been thinking about it, but I've been focused on the Strega, and the motor that's in there now. I have a new stalker, and I was explaining this to Carl and Joe. This new stalker, for some reason, does not put out the power of my old stalker. The old stalker was an older version, and so I'm actually spending a lot of time prop trimming and getting it to work, acceptable. And second line, but I've been enjoying the process. I think I've mentioned that to you several times. I'm enjoying this prop testing. It's a lot of fun.
Got a question for you.
Sure.
Have you pulled the head off of it yet?
I did a while ago, because when I first got the motor, it had no power because the cylinder sleeve was it was not in the right position. It was part of the exhaust or intake was blocked. I had to turn it to get it right. And then the power went up, but still not as powerful as my old motor.
Check and see how many head gaskets are in it, Charles, because a lot of times they put 3 and 4 head gaskets in those because they figure us dinglings in America are going to put nitro in them.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that today. Actually, I was thinking about taking a peek and see if I can remove some head gaskets to get some more performance.
My buddy just bought a stalker. It had 7 head gaskets or 8 head gaskets in it. 6 anyway. Way too many.
What it's supposed to be, they ship them that way, so you'll take them out so you'll have extras. But if you don't know it, then you try to run it that way and you don't have any power. So knock it down to 1 or 2 head gaskets and see what you get. Because you fly 0 nitro, don't you?
Yeah, 0 nitro.
It'll be a lot better.
Yeah, it'll be much better.
I was actually thinking that today I should take a peek and see if I have an extra head shim.
I do that so many times. Something tells me you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and I don't listen. And then 2 weeks later, I do it and think, dadgummit, I could have done so much better if I just gone ahead and listened.
Yeah. Well, there's things I'm working on too. Like my plane, when it's flying, the upright, the tail is up, the ass is up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've been adjusting the flap to elevator a little bit to fix that. And I'm getting closer and closer to being flat. And then when I'm inverted, it's really obvious that the tail is down. And so, I was thinking about that too. And I also was thinking about raising the push rod on the elevator. I have a slider elevator horn that's adjustable. I was going to raise the push rod, move it closer to the hinge point to give a little bit more deflection, get the plane to move more. So I got all these things I want to work on. Plus I got to cut down a prop. And like I said, these are all excuses.
Don't worry about it.
I have a label. I have a label in my garage that says you can get results or excuses, but not both. You can do results or excuses, but you can't do both. So
you're getting results. It's all good.
Yes.
That's what matters. Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's just, it's all good as long as you're having fun. That's the thing. I'm not getting anything finished, it doesn't seem like, but one of these days when I finally do get to the point where some of this stuff gets completed, I'll have a whole bunch of airplanes at one time, because I seem to get everything up to a point and then it kind of sits there. One of these days I've got to learn to finish.
You know, that is an interesting observation. I sometimes too, you know, will be so motivated to build something or do something, and then when right before it's almost done, it's kind of like you just lose.
Goes on the shelf.
That goes on the shelf and you start a new project, but you haven't finished
because
the other
there's
one.
something about the wanting that's more exciting than the having.
Well, that's why I had seven or eight. I think I had 9 projects a year ago this time, and I started finishing them. But that's how I had 3 new airplanes last year. I'm hoping to have 4 new ones this year. I've got to come up with a profile. I don't have a profile, but I've got a new open, a new classic, and a new old time. I've just got to get them painted. The Cavalier's covered, and it's got the blocking coat on it, but it does not have paint on it. The Humongous it's not white. It's supposed to be white, but it's kind of yellow looking. That's got to be sanded, and then we'll go back with white again. And then I've got an ombre that needs a good bit of work to get it finished up. Fuselage, that's one I was telling you about. The fuselage kept twisting. I finally took my knife and just cut the wing and tail out of the fuselage, and I'm building a new fuselage for it. But instead of being, Lynn ain't gonna like this, instead of being a PA-61, it's gonna be electric now.
That's okay. It's all in good fun. Whatever makes you happy, man.
Well,
I have no problem with the electric, guys. I think it's fantastic. It just doesn't work for me. That's all it is. It's nothing against it.
Hey, I tell you what, when I go flying for fun, when we go fun flying, Fox 35s, you know, ignition motors, and that darn 51. I love that 51 and that Pathfinder. But everybody tells me it's too much motor. It's too much motor. I'm gonna tell you what, the way that thing flies, that's just right.
Is that a Stalker 51?
No, it's a Tiger. Tiger 51.
Tiger 51.
5% nitro and a 12.5.
And it likes
prop.
it. Yeah.
Oh God, it likes it.
That's
it likes to pull my darn arm
Italian
off.
job or the China job?
It's an Italian. It's an Italian. I have a China one, but it has a Brian Gardner sleeve and piston in it.
Oh wow.
And head, so it don't run like a China one. But the China ones weren't that bad. It's just that you couldn't get a ring to live in them. If you get 50 flights out of a ring, that was a good ring. And I don't know what in the world did it. I don't know whether the sleeves were bad, the pistons were bad. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't get one to stay together.
I've got a new one in the box. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I haven't run it yet, so who knows?
Well, I tell you what, Lynn, if you can afford it, and he has a few left, or he did last time I talked to him, order you a sleeve and piston from Brian Gardner. It's ABC.
Okay.
You'll get better economy, better power, and the running characteristics are just like something that went to Tom Dixon or something.
That's perfect.
And it's about
Tom's done all of mine. He's reworked all mine except I don't remember if he reworked that one. I can't remember.
I've got a couple that Tom didn't rework. I've got a couple by Tom Lay. I've got some I've got Tom Lay motors, I've got Silver Fox motors, I've got several nice motors, and I'm telling you, a lot of these guys knew a lot about motors because these guys really make one purr.
Exactly.
Silver Fox. I wish I had a half dozen more stuff he built because his stuff. Fox. I've got a Fox 35 that he built, and that's a 1-flip motor. I haven't taken it apart, but I swear I believe it's got a stick in it because it does not burp. But boy, when I was flying that one I flew Monday, it had such a burp. You come over the top and it burped at the top, and you were pulling out at the bottom, and the darn thing finally took off again. Oh, it had me scared.
That's scary. Hey, John, you have a question? Go ahead, John. John, you're muted. You had your hand raised and you're muted.
Dog was I was eating the pizza and the dog was barking. So yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you muting your dog. Thank you.
Hey Phil, was that a Mark II or Mark III profile that you're flying?
Mark 1 it's just it's a standard flat wing.
Okay.
It was a kit, but it's the one that's been modified to be a tail dragger.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't modify it. It's not a plane I can. Reason I have to have a profile. I've got a great flying profile, but I won't fly something in contest somebody else built.
Yeah.
And I didn't build this one, but I'm telling you, it flies so well.
Well,
that's the reason I'm building this tapered wing one. I want to get one built.
Well, get you a kit for the Mark II. That's the one that Brodak sells.
I have one.
Build it and build it as a trike gear because you'll like it much better.
Oh, I know. Well, I tell you what, John, I don't believe I could like it any better. This thing flew 5 flights today, and other than coming down and hitting, Hobby Park has a bunch of seams in it where they tried to fill the cracks and the heat bubbled it up. But other than coming down and hitting the crack, and it sounded like the landing gear was coming out from under it, because it wasn't. It was the only landing I made that didn't come down and you just hear the tires start singing. You're not sure it's on the ground yet. It just comes in and you hear the tires singing. That's it. Rims. That thing lands so well. I've had some good landing airplanes. Stinger lands great. A lot of them land great. But that Pathfinder, man, that thing lands great. It's beautiful.
I have to ask you a question, Phil. When you said you had a 51 and a Pathfinder, I assumed you meant the built up like the LE. So you have a regular Pathfinder profile
regular
with a 51?
Yeah, my buddy just put a Stalker 51 in one. He loves it more than anything he's got, he says.
I tell you what, I'd as soon fly that plane as anything I've got.
I can believe it.
It's so much fun to fly, and it's so precise. It just,
you have to put tail weight on that plane?
Do what?
You have to put tail weight in that plane to get to fly? I mean, I'm amazed. I thought that'd be for LA-46.
It's got a long fuse and a big tail. It should be okay.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good size. It's a pretty good size airplane altogether. It's a big plane. It's bigger than the SV11.
They are big.
Than SV11.
They are big.
But you wouldn't think with that big, huge Hershey bar wing and it being so darn thick that it would fly as well as it does. But it's just very, very precise, and everybody needs to fly one once, because if they do, they'll go home and build one.
You're killing me, Phil. You're killing me, because I got a kit downstairs. Now I'm going to unbox it. I can see it coming. I can see it coming.
Then you'll have it built in 2 weeks.
Pathfinder Arc downstairs.
I managed to find
that this weekend.
I managed to find a Stalker 51 side exhaust. That's what's going on my next one.
That's a good motor. That's what I got too. I've got one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy one. I had a chance to buy one and didn't. I wish I had now. But
maybe that was the one I got.
It probably was. There's a double star 54 on the internet. I think there was 2 or 3, because one of them had a tube muffler and a tongue muffler. And I'm thinking hard about buying that, but I hadn't been able to commit yet. I have one downstairs, but it's going in an airplane. So I thought about buying another one and putting it on the next Pathfinder, because they're so light.
We're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The thing with the Stalkers right now, we may not see any more for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So
I just hope they're all right, because
I haven't heard anything from them for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the guy I was telling you about in Australia, he put out a post and said that he was going to sell some stuff and try to come up with some money to send them, because they've been sick and having some hard times, and then this darn war is not making things any better.
No,
but maybe we'll get lucky and they'll be one of the people to come to America.
That would be nice.
There's 1,000 of them coming to America. Now, if we can just get the guy that does the Stalker motors and the guy that does the Mike's airplane, I cannot think of the name of that darn thing.
Axioma
to come to America, and maybe we can get some good stuff going.
Yeah,
that was in Uzbekistan, not
Ukraine.
Oh, he's in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Well, I might be able to get one yet. You never know.
Yeah.
You guys, I have a question from our chat. Let me before we run out of time. 18 Stingray 1, that's his handle. He says, I heard Sparky saying he was priming the Cobra with DC 540. Is DC 540 back to the original formula?
Oh boy, you got me on that.
I wanted
don't
to
know.
ask him the same thing, so I don't know. I know the old stuff was wonderful, but I haven't been able to find it. I went to Napa and bought some, and it is not the old stuff. This stuff is just water.
Yeah, I think Sparky said that if you want 18 Stingray 1, look at the contents. You want it needs to have toluene.
Yeah, that's right.
Toluene.
Toluene, excuse me. Thank you, gentlemen. Toluene. If it doesn't have toluene, then it's not the right formula. So I think that's the best answer. And then Dennis H, he says, I just emailed Brian Gardner the other day. He has at least one ABC G51 kit and a LA 46 ABC kit. Very tempted to buy the LA 46 one.
I tell you what, you won't.
If I was you, I wouldn't have even advertised that you.
I wouldn't even think about it. If you can afford it, grab it, because I have the Super Tiger, I have the LA, and I have the 51, and they ain't a loser in the bunch. You won't be sorry you bought it if you get it. They're great.
Yes. Well, we have
Who's
3 more
this?
minutes.
Tom Lay? Is it Tom Lay?
No.
away.
It's Brian Gardner. Tom Lay.
Oh,
passed away
Brian Gardner. Sorry.
Yeah, he's in Australia.
Oh, speaking of the 51, they do have a Randy Smith 51 that
That's
I
a
really
good one.
like. That was it. The very, I
That's a
mean,
good one.
and I have 2 or 3 other stock 51s, and I could definitely see the difference. I mean, much more power. It's just a great running motor. I had it in my Top Flight score when I was campaigning the Top Flight score. That Super Tiger 51, it just took it down the street, no problem.
You know, the one I could never understand. Tom Lay talked to me about a Super Tiger 60, and you know they had the flat heads,
right?
And then they had the ones that were dome heads.
Yeah, they call them K motors.
Yeah, well, the K motors get much better fuel economy, and they still make darn near the same power. But everybody wanted the other one.
I think I remember people coveting the K motor, the dip one, the concave head.
Yeah.
That's the one that people wanted. Maybe it was because of the fuel economy, because you could get a nice sized tank in a plane, you know.
4 1/4 ounces in an SV11. I mean, I ain't gonna argue that.
No,
that's ridiculous.
That's phenomenal. I didn't realize it had. Yeah, I don't have any K motors. I have a motor that Frank Bowman built for me. It's a Super Tiger 60.
That'd be a good one.
A K motor, is that a 60?
Yeah, it has the concave head.
I've got one of those, a brand new one.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
Sparky sold it to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you got one over on Sparky because he screwed up.
Sparky has a lot of good Super Tiger 60. You want to get it for us? Go ahead.
No, I'm going to get it right. I'm going to go get it. Hang on.
Sure. Thank you. And Thomas Creasy, he's in the chat. He says, spell the name I'm looking for in primer paint, like DC 540 used to have.
TOLULINE.
You see the can I just showed you?
No, I didn't see that. Let me make it big.
Well, okay, here it is.
And he froze.
He's down in the shop. That part does not have.
Oh, there you go.
Show us the front of the can, Howard.
You gotta do it slower, Howard. Your bandwidth made it just skip out. It was there for a second.
Sorry.
You hold it there for a while, so
I
Tom.
was bragging about the DC 540 with.
Where do you get it, Howard?
Yeah, I got it a long time ago.
Yeah. I think Sparky got his a long time ago too. I think Sparky just broke down and got out his reserves.
That's
Sparky used to buy that stuff by the case. He ain't kidding nobody.
Yeah.
He used to buy cases of that stuff.
He said he found some in his shop a while back that he had ordered and forgot about. It was like a case of it back there in the stock room. That's probably where he got it.
I'll have to give him a hard time next time I talk to him. Then I just tell him, getting old's heck. Memory's first thing to go.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's true. That's true. If something went first, I can't remember it. But
yeah, something.
So Tom Creasy, I hope you got your answer. And anyways, gentlemen, thank you so much for this evening. It's 9:01 out here on the right coast, and
left coast.
And I mean right, like the correct one. And
I still say it's the left coast.
Anyway, so we've had as many as
you still got that governor, you know.
We still have as many as 27 viewers. We have 26 likes. Thank you very much. 0 chat revenue and 0 new members. Anyways, today's Friday night. We'll be back Monday. We have a weekend. Hopefully you have some weather, or if the weather makes it so you have to be in your shop and build, or the weather has it, you go out there and fly. Come back Monday and share with us. Oh, by the way, before we go, I did promise Lynn can show us his jewelry here. But so let me let Jen.
That's it.
Let me oh, that is a find. Look at that. I mean, make
That's a beautiful motor.
That looks brand new.
It is brand new. I just pulled it out of the box.
Yeah, that's the coveted motor.
Okay. Well, I've got one.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
Yeah. Wow.
What is it?
Lynn,
ST60 with the ST60 with the concave head.
You start. I don't know what's different about it. When you start running that thing, you won't believe the fuel economy.
Wow. Okay.
And that's interesting Venturi. That's more like the Venturi you see in the G21 50.
Yeah. Well, this is the way Sparky gave it to me, so
I'm sure it's a good motor.
Should be good to go. Awesome.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
That's awesome.
So what you gonna put that in? I bet you a Pathfinder go nice.
It would have to be a pretty big Pathfinder.
Well, you can take it up to 650 squares from 620.
The bigger the motor to go in a Pathfinder, the easier you run it. That's all there is to it.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm encouraged. I didn't know you could put that big of a motor in a Pathfinder, but I always.
So how would I bring it up to 650? Just put more span on it, or enlarge the whole thing?
Well, I would consider enlarging the whole thing. The way you do is you take the plan
and blow it up.
And blow it up.
Blow it up
Yeah,
about
figure-
10%.
Yeah, blow it up 5 or 10%.
Okay, that'll work with that 60. I might just do that. That's a good idea, actually.
Lynn, a guy here a few years back took 2 sets of plans and had them blown up, built a 10% enlarged Shark 45.
Wow.
That thing was huge. And then he
I'll
built
bet.
a 10% enlarged Yeeski Nobler. And I'm telling you.
Well, then he's just got a bear.
That's about what he got. That's about what he got, except it still had the
I wonder how I know.
You did one too. You did one too, huh?
Did you guys
Boy,
ever
I'll tell
see Bob Brookins' Magician? That big magician?
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, I did see
60 size.
Yeah, I like that magician. And Brent Williams, he says our Harbor Freight primer is reportedly very similar / same as good as the DC 540. I remember the first I heard that was from Dennis Nunes.
I heard that too. I've
purchased about 3 or 4 cans from Harbor Freight.
I've got
Especially when they
6
had
cans.
that 20% off coupon, I would just go and buy the primer. I haven't used it yet, but I do have it.
The only thing I can tell you is when you use that primer, sand it down good, and then hit. Doggone, it got dark in here. Put a
You're in
blocking
a
coat.
doghouse, just so you know.
Put your blocking coat on before you put your color on, because it will migrate through.
Okay. All righty. Well, gentlemen, and Naomi, who was here earlier, thank you so much for coming in. Everybody,
I'll let her know.
And tune in next Monday, same time, and we will hopefully have some fun again and a good show. Thank you very much. Now we're gonna not go away. We're just gonna end the live stream. So this is Friday night. Some of us don't have to go to work tomorrow, so be prepared for a good after party.
You're gonna pull back the curtain for the dance, right?
They're waiting. They're warmed up. So let me end the stream here.
Oh, you guys are too.
Hey, good night. See you guys.